If you own chickens just like I do, then I can pretty much assure you that the year 2024 was likely a very eventful year for you, as it was for me. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 8 lessons I learned from my chickens this year. Well, not really lessons, but generally just pieces of information I learned about chickens this year that I think is really important, and I think will help you out a lot in 2025. So without any further ado, let's begin. If you know anything about the chickens I own personally here on my farm, you'll pretty quickly realize that I used to own a ton of roosters here on my farm. In fact, back in the beginning of 2023, I owned a ton of roosters. I owned 3 black copper marins and my rooster falcons. That's 4 roosters at one time. I didn't have that many chickens, by the way. I really quickly realized that we needed to get rid of some of these roosters because, well, they were causing an overcrowding problem. We started by selling the dominant one, named Shaving Cream. Don't ask where that name came from. I don't know. The other one, rotisserie chicken, we sold because we were fearing that they would overtake my main rooster named Waldo, who sadly ended up passing away last July during a coyote attack. This left us with my worst rooster, who wasn't even in the flock of Focus, my pet flock. His name was Falcon. And let me just say, he is not really the greatest rooster. And let me just also preface this before I really jump into this topic. He's kind of an idiot too. That's the downfall of a lot of flocks, because their roosters are stupid. And mine was no exception. And here was the issue. When it came time for an attack, he would only save certain chickens. And that's the downfall of a lot of roosters and a lot of flocks at the same time, because the rooster really matters. And Falcon was a terrible rooster. So if you're going to be keeping a lot of roosters, I'd recommend keeping it down to as little as possible. Generally about 1 rooster for every 15 or so hens. And if you're going to keep like a lot of hens, you should probably keep that rule in mind. As I discussed in the last section, my rooster Waldo died in an attack with coyotes. But here's the thing, I didn't even know that attack was coming whatsoever. It happened on the fateful day of July 20th, 2023. And on that day, we lost 58% of our chickens in one day. And the craziest thing is I was home for the whole day, and it was just wild to witness. And let me just say, you have no clue if this attack is going to happen anytime soon. So you really have no control over this. You know it's going to happen, but you don't know when. That's the key piece of information I want you to know. Now, I don't want to spend too much time talking about this because it's pretty much been discussed so much on this channel that, like, if you click this video right here in the corner of the screen, it'll take you right to a video that talks about that. But chickens are fairly easy to tame. In fact, my baby chickens, who were born back in August, by the way, are now mostly tamed. There's a couple of them I still need to tame, but most of them are completely tamed at this point, which is crazy to think about. The fact that they were born back in August, which was a couple months ago. Now, this one, it can go either way with your opinion on this one. And my take on this, it really depends on which type of treats we're talking about. If we're talking about stuff like lettuce, and generally the stuff I gave my chickens in yesterday's video, which, by the way, was their Christmas present, I'm going to say about half of that would be good to give them on a daily basis. You know, the healthy stuff, the lettuce, and all that whatnot. That'll be really good to give them on a daily basis because it gives them the nutrients they need. But if we're talking more unhealthy snacks for chickens, then realistically you should only be giving them that, like, every now and then. Like, you don't want to be giving this to them like every single day because that could potentially cause some issues with your chickens. You want to be giving it to them as often as necessary. So for treats like lettuce and all that sort of stuff, I do that every day, as I just said. And for more like less healthy stuff like goldfish and all that sort of stuff, I give it to them like, you know, like once every other week. So it's fairly healthy, they can look forward to it, but it's not going to be causing a lot of issues because it's just, you know, I'm not giving it to them that often. If you didn't already know this, a couple weeks ago, we got a pretty bad snowstorm over here. We were only supposed to get like 2 to 4, maybe 5 inches of snow, but we ended up with 9 inches, which was absolutely crazy. To think about that, imagine as a chicken owner, your chickens don't like snow that much, and you know you're about to get a pretty bad storm. Or how about in the summer, when there's going to be severe thunderstorms in your area, possibly? I think you should always be aware of what the conditions are going to be like on like a certain day, so you know what to do for your chickens. So in a couple days ago, it was down to the negatives over here in southern New England. Well, not a couple days ago, it's like a week ago. It was like -4 degrees here. And when that happened, we had to make sure we were aware of the impacts this would have for our chickens. So we put up some like heated water stands out there so we could put the waters on there without it really getting frozen, because frozen water is not really good, because like your chickens won't be able to drink the water in that situation. So always remember that. You should always be aware as to what the conditions should be, and always, and I mean always, check up with the latest conditions in your area so that way you know which type of preparations you should be making ahead of a big event. Now, the words chicken and attention go really well together in a sentence. They flow perfectly, and here is why. My chickens require attention, and it's just because they do. Chickens are generally independent animals, except for when they need your assistance. And my chickens do need my assistance pretty frequently. For starters, my chickens like frequently get into it, like fights and stuff like that, and I need to go over there and, you know, break it up. But most importantly, if there's like an attack or something, those chickens won't be able to fend for themselves, which just sucks. So I have to be out there because their rooster is dead, and even if the rooster was still alive, he'd care more about himself than his other chickens. Which reminds me, since I care about my chickens, I gave him a Christmas present in this video right here. If you didn't already see it, and if you didn't already click on it earlier, click on it right here. And I'll see you guys. Be sure to like and subscribe. I haven't yet told you that yet, but do that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.